Welcome back to the MrShowTym showcast. Folks, today's video is going to be a very crucial one. In today's video, I'm going to be analyzing the debate Piers Morgan had with Andrew Tate. The second interview since the last time they met, a little less than a year ago at this point. There's a particular part of the interview that I want to serve as a learning lesson, a teaching lesson as to how to conduct yourself in a debate. Now, this interview was very more contested, evenly contested the second time around, because the first time Piers Morgan interviewed Andrew Tate, Piers Morgan was, questioning him about his political views and his views about women and him being a misogynist, him trying to frame him as a misogynist, Now, of course, to the untrained mind, to the NPCs, to the average normies, to the bots, Piers Morgan might come across as very convincing. But to us, the red pill, to the trained mind, we see Piers Morgan's tactics coming a mile away, kilometers away. Piers Morgan, this time around, I must admit, he had done his thorough homework on Andrew Tate. I'm talking about the nitty-gritty specifics, pulling up tweets he tweeted, calling him out on, what do you mean about them? Trying to ridicule him on his his popular catchphrase, the Matrix is attacking. And Piers Morgan, what is that? What is the Matrix? I must admit, not to say that Andrew Tate lost the debate, but Andrew Tate still held his own, well endowed, because he represents us now, the red pill manosphere. Piers Morgan, I can't help but admit, he'd done his homework thoroughly. He was more prepared this time around compared to the first time. He tried his, tactics once again. You say this about, but this time Piers Morgan looked to be much more thorough. And again, to the untrained mind, Piers Morgan would, looked to be more convincing. But for us red pillars, Piers Morgan tried to get Andrew Tate to, he tried to catch him in this aha moment, trying to get him to admit that Hamas is a terrorist group, and that Israel is, they're the ones suffering. And the one thing Andrew Tate, I wish he didn't do, is he tried to, swerve around the question. And by swerving and not answering it directly, it kind of, you're not doing yourselves any favors. It makes you look, to be on the back foot. Now, if I was Andrew Tate, if I had to answer Piers Morgan that question, I would say, my answer would be, first of all, just before going further, have a look at the clip.
But I just want to ask you one more time. Is what Hamas did on October the 7th an act of terrorism?
I think, Piers, it is peddling asininities for you to pretend that enslaving people...
You sound like Jeremy Corbyn now.
No, let me answer the question.
15 times he refused to answer the question.
Let me answer the question.
You're now up
I'm
to
not
about...
refusing.
You're now about 3 or 4.
If you look...
Are they a terror group or not?
They're one team's freedom fighter, and they're deemed a terrorist
What do
group.
you think?
I think that if you lock people in an open-air prison and steal their land, they're going to retaliate.
So they're not a terror group?
I think they're going to retaliate.
They're not a terror group?
One team's terrorist is another
Okay, we're
team's
now up
freedom
to about
fighter.
8. Are they a terror group?
And also, another thing I want to make clear to you, Piers.
Only Jeremy Corbyn has done this.
Done what?
Refused to answer the question.
I think that what they are doing is seemingly deemed an act of terror by the people that the terror...
Don't use weaselly words.
They're not weaselly. Of course the Israelis think they're a terror group, and of course some...
Okay, so you saw that, right? Here is Andrew Tate dodging, around the question, not wanting to admit that by purely based on technicalities, that Hamas is a terrorist group. Justified or unjustified, it doesn't matter. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, listen, to all you Scooby-Doo ninjas who want to be like, no, but MrShowTym, I want you to take this side and I want you to take this perspective. No, listen! I have a neutral stance with regard to the Israel-Palestinian conflict massacre. Alright? I want both parties, both citizens and civilians from the other side to stop dying. I'm quoting Trump. I want people to stop dying. Right? We are rational. We are, rationalists. Okay? We are the red pill. We want both civilians from other side to stop dying. I do not take any sides, although stay tuned. I have to make certain stipulations, certain technical stipulations, so stay tuned. Now, with that being said, I wish Andrew Tate would have just dived in head first, face first, and said, okay, Piers, you wanna go off of technicalities. Yes, technically, what the Hamas group did was an act of terrorism. But now, hold on, Piers. If we're gonna deem Hamas a terrorist group, what about Israel? What about the IDF? What about the country that has the most advanced military weaponry in the world? What about what they've been doing to the Palestinians back in 2014? What about what the Israelites have been doing undercover, unbeknownst to the media? Actually, it's not unbeknownst, okay? It's knowingly, it's just that they don't want it to get out in the media. And the media are on the side as well. Every entity on the world wants Israel to retaliate, to spark a World War III. Every governor, every senator, every political government figure in America, your Nikki Haley's, your Ben Shapiro's, your Chris Christie, your Ron DeSantis, they are all pro-Israel, including Piers Morgan himself. Now, again, not to deviate, let's come back to Piers Morgan. Again, I commend Piers Morgan. Look, Piers Morgan doesn't necessarily, I don't think it matters whether or not he truly believes the things he's saying. He's saying the stances, his viewpoints. It doesn't matter what he believes personally. It doesn't matter. Again, I'm speaking to the average normie. This is what I want the average NPC to know. It's not a matter of whether he believes it personally or not. No. Piers Morgan is an Agent Smith of the system. He is a well-trained operative in this industry. Okay? He's a very great debater, which is why he was picked to be who he is, the job he has. He's a master debater, a very good bullshitter that I can see his tactics coming a mile away. Debating Piers Morgan is no easy pickings. It's no walk in the park. I believe I would hold my own against Piers Morgan, but the average normie, I don't think so. Debating is a skill, and some of us some people are highly trained in that particular aspect. Not to say that I'm capable, I would win every debate. No, I'm just saying that, we realize what's going on. So Piers tried to catch Andrew Tate. The whole reason, the whole purpose for this interview in the first place, it's not because of, Piers Morgan is concerned about Andrew Tate and, how have you been doing since your unjustly incarceration? No. Piers Morgan, let me tell you what the real purpose of this interview is, okay? Listen, clean out your ears, okay? The whole purpose for this interview that Piers Morgan conducted with Andrew Tate seemingly, by his own admission, but during the discussion, Andrew Tate's trial is pending in a couple or a few days from now. And this is like basically the Matrix extending out to Andrew Tate, reaching out to Andrew Tate and saying, Andrew, you've been challenging us. You've been challenging us, we the Agent Smiths. This is your last chance because you've been holding your own so far. You survived cancellation. You survived being wrongfully incarcerated in a Romanian slammer. So this is your final chance before the day of your trial to repent. Okay? And this is where it gets scary. This is where it gets dark, in my opinion. I would be very unsettled and be put at, unease. I'll be very bothered by the questions that Piers Morgan asked Andrew Tate. And one of the questions Piers asked Andrew Tate is, so, Andrew, while you were incarcerated, did you ever feel the need to, take yourself out? Did you ever feel so depressed to the point where you would feel, suicidal? Now, kudos to Andrew Tate. He answered it in a, the typical standard fashion. Look, I would never kill myself. Put me in jail for life. I would never, ever kill myself, okay? I don't believe in depression. I would never commit suicide. I would never kill myself, right? That lets me know what the Matrix is planning for Andrew Tate in the coming days. It's almost like Piers knows. And then at the end of the interview, Piers' final words to Andrew Tate is, considering your journey, Andrew, are there any regrets? Would you have done anything different? Considering what you've been through, or because of the Matrix, as you call it. And that lets me know that, this wouldn't be the first time such has happened. What if you noticed every time what happens soon after Piers Morgan interviews Andrew Tate? The last time, soon after Piers Morgan interviewed Andrew Tate got swatted and arrested. Right? The Matrix came after him. Threw him in the slammer. Right? And now, they had this interview on the 21st. Right? And now Andrew Tate's trial is, pending, a few days from now. That's scary to me. I'll be very concerned because that's the Matrix saying, okay, Andrew, this is the last chance to bow out, to disappear. You, Andrew, disappear. We're giving you a last chance to just walk. And if you continue to try and challenge us, well then, goodbye, sayonara. We'll make it look like an accident. Remember, Andrew Tate, as he said, at first they tried to cancel him. They throw you in jail for something you didn't do, which we all know at this point is innocent because they haven't bought anything of substance we can that makes sense. Now he's on his last leg. We all know what's the last level they might try. They're gonna try and take him out. Now listen, the Matrix is, the Agent Smith, they're very patient with this. Okay? When did Andrew come out? Sometime earlier this year, right? And seemingly, they've been like loosening the straps, allowing him to go home under house arrest. Now they're they've dismissed him from house arrest. He can, go around. Just as you think that you're going to be free, they're dangling the carrot of freedom in front of you and then they yank it away. Or they give you a last chance. Still, are you willing to bow out? Are you willing to see to concede? Stop challenging us? Talking masculinity, calling out the Matrix? No, yank. That's how they operate. They're very patient. Folks, the Matrix, the agents, they're very patient with this, okay? They're very patient. That's what scares me. I fear for what might happen to Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate in the near future. It's scary. I don't wish anything upon him, but it's very scary. Folks, Piers Morgan doesn't believe. I'm sorry. He doesn't need to believe the things he says. Like I said, he's a highly trained operative of the system, of the Matrix. Okay. It's his job to come across as very convincing. Okay, these are highly trained operatives. Okay, highly trained, master debaters, aimed to convince the masses. Look, the whole reason with this Israel-Palestine thing is they want to emotionally rile up people so that when the IDF, Israel, when they eventually retaliate against those Palestinians whose defense force is weaker than the Israelis, the IDF, that's going to spark some retaliation from the other Arab nations, the surrounding Arab nations such as Iran, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Jordan, Syria, etc. Every government and politician on the planet. Well, shout out to us. Hey, listen. I just heard the South African government. I just saw an article in News 24. The South African government, right, just ended its relations with with Israel. Shout out to us, okay? But that may not mean much compared to. I mean, if Joe Biden is still funding Ukraine and Israel, trying to emotionally rally up the mainstream media every voice, every image, every video, every narrative, mainstream narrative is saying the Israelis, poor Israelis. This is how sadistic they are. They frame this as if the Israelis are the ones under siege, whereas it's the Jews themselves, the modern day Jews, who stole the land from the Palestinians in the first place because they don't belong there. Biblically, this is a whole biblical story now. Now, the Palestinians are trying to, get the land back because they're the original owners, yada, 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 etc., etc., etc. They frame this as if Israel is the one under attack. But really and for truly, both parties have been conducting acts of terrorism. The only caveat here is, Piers, if you're listening, the Israelis, Israel, your Benjamin Netanyahu, they are the bigger terrorists. But you don't want to admit that, now do you? Simply because of, not because of what they do. Well, because of what Israel has been doing since 2014 and these undercover attacks, massacres on the Palestinians, right? Again, IDF is one of the most advanced military forces in the world. And here's another red pill. Benjamin Netanyahu himself has been attacking Israel, framing it as if it's Hamas. And when we tweet these things, they get censored. I've put out a short video on this. It got taken down. They're censoring such information. So what does that tell you? They are framing Israel as if they're the victims, whereas they are the bigger terrorists. So Piers, you want to call Hamas a terrorist group? Israel, okay, are the bigger terrorists. Their weaponry is more advanced, okay? Not to mention they've been controlling the Palestinians' access to energy, resources, and food and sustenance. That's a whole different story, I digress. But folks, that's all I have to say for now. This was a very interesting interview. It was that much evenly contested. Andrew Tate stumbled, when he was asked whether he thinks Hamas is a terrorist group, because Andrew Tate has millions of followers. Piers Morgan simply wanted Andrew Tate to admit that that yes, Hamas is a terrorist group, and then they'll be like, aha! You see, folks, even Andrew Tate agrees that Hamas is a terrorist group, so therefore we should go, guns blazing on the Palestinians, and let's just go on a flat-out genocide. That's what they want. That's what they want. That's Piers Morgan's mission. That's what he wanted. He wanted this aha moment from Andrew Tate to verbally state that yes, Hamas is it, and then they would have clipped that part without context, just by saying, okay, if Andrew Tate said yes, Hamas is a terrorist group, however, Israel has been engaging in some terrorists themselves, and these are merely retaliations upon against each other. They would have taken that little snippet and they would have ran with it. It's very insidious what they're doing. It's very insidious what the Matrix is doing, what Piers Morgan is doing, what the mainstream, the US governments are doing. They're trying to lead us into a World War III slaughter. These are pivotal moments. These are crucial moments in time in history. We don't want either side to die. We want people from both sides to stop dying. But Piers Morgan doesn't want that. He spent less time admitting that, okay, the Israelites have been engaging in some foolery themselves. No, he didn't admit so much as admit that. Even there's a part where he sort of touched on it, but he retracted it. Some may say that, okay, Andrew Tate himself is a Muslim, so he doesn't want to offend him. No, okay, you can make that point. But that's all I have to say for now. Folks, been watching this far. Thank you so much for watching. Please do me a favor, because I need you. You need you to do this. Please subscribe to my Rumble page. My channel has been shadow banned. The ops, the FBI, they realize who I am. And they've censored my channel. They've shadow banned my channel because we're exposing this. Please subscribe to my Rumble channel at rumble.com/MrShowTym. That way, if they decide to cancel me on YouTube, I'll still be on Rumble. Okay? This is how you survive cancellation. You be on as many grids as possible. They take you on one grid, still I exist. At least I exist on Rumble. And remember, Matrix has you. Don't fall for the psyops. Thanks for watching. Cheers.